Good evening, everyone. I'm Nathaniel George.
Good evening, I'm Mark Go.
Okay, so today our topic is "Believe Me, is torture," and this article was written by Christopher Hitchens, and it pretty much talks about waterboarding. And waterboarding, the idea that is presented over here by the writer is meant to toughen up the fighters of the United States Army, especially Special Forces. Okay, when you join Special Forces, you have this course that you go through that is called SERA, which means Survivor, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape. So this course is meant to toughen you up, to make you stronger, just in case you are captured by the enemy. You will be able to toughen up, to survive until you find a route to escape. But it's not for you to learn the skills and come inflict torture or harm to other people. So pretty much waterboarding has been seen to be something that is not recommended for fun or recommended for punishment of any kind, but if you should do it, it should be done in order to help you become a better person, maybe on the battlefront or in terms of, or in a case of danger, when you will be maybe fighting for your life or trying to do things to make yourself a better person against the situation and not against other people.
So this particular reporter, Christopher Hitchens, he actually subjected himself to this waterboarding technique. So he contacted the SEER school, the specialist, and then he was, it was all planned, but he was abducted from a certain location. He was brought to a location and he was put onto a board, and they proceeded to apply the waterboarding techniques, or in some arguments, these are called things of this nature are called enhanced interrogation techniques. So that's where the title comes from. So he's, after what he's experienced, he says, "Believe me, it's torture." So, and when he goes through this, he talks about there was a rumor that one of the alleged, or whoever was in charge of the mastermind behind 9/11, I forget his name, it was a bit difficult to pronounce. Give me 1 second here. Yes, apparently he lasted 2 minutes. That was this guy, battle-hardened, terrorist, lasted 2 minutes. So after all of that, there's two arguments to this whole waterboarding or enhanced interrogation techniques. On one side, we have people who believe that saying that America is a terror, or sort of using these techniques is evil, it's vile, but in comparison to actual torture, right? None of these people ever walk out with any kind of signs or any kind of damage to them other than a few minutes of drowning, quote unquote. Actually, that's what it is. You're drowning. It's not boarding. They're like pouring water all over your face. So it's in comparison to what we see, some of those videos that we've seen, right? Daniel Pearl was mentioned in this video where his head, or his throat was cut. In comparison to that, is it really torture? Waterboarding, is it really torture? That's why this reporter subjected himself to that. And on the other hand, another person in here that he interviewed spoke to him and expressed his feelings about it, that waterboarding, it is torture, and if we allow it to happen, if we condone it, we're kind of saying it's okay to do it to our people as well. So we can't do it and say that other regimes can't do it to our personnel. So it's a double-edged sword, so to speak. And once we start doing that, it's a door that can't be closed. So if the ticking bomb is still going on and you can't get enough information with waterboarding, what else are we going to be willing to do? Also, waterboarding also, it doesn't really get you all the information you need. Sometimes it's also not reliable information. One of the examples here is that after waterboarding or similar techniques, they were able to convince somebody to confess that they're a hermaphrodite. So it's not all that useful. But yeah.
So pretty much the information you may get here, as I said, may not all be authentic, because that person is under duress, is under stress. They have to tell you something. So sometimes they give you information that you don't even want to hear. So this is not the best techniques. And things that work in the past, they no longer work in the 21st century. So there are always better ways to get the information we want and whatever. And sometimes you waterboarding somebody in order to get information or to get what you want. The person may not even have that resistance, to reach certain level. Maybe after a few minutes, or after a few minutes or so, the person passes.
Can they be programmed?
Yeah, so
They can be programmed to.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So they can be programmed, and they may not have that resistance to same torture. So you may be wasting your time and maybe resources trying to do this. So the best thing is to stay away from it, because the form of torture is not going to help you in any situation. Okay, if you need it, as I said earlier, in the battlefield situation, it is useful. Otherwise, if you just want to use it for fun, it's not recommended.
And how would this be useful in studying your particular group? And what is the group you're reporting on? Who's your terrorist organization?
My terrorist, okay, got it. My terrorist organization is Hezbollah.
The military
Yeah,
arm of Hezbollah.
So
Okay.
yeah, these guys are militia group, and they could do anything. So
Okay.
so waterboarding is not something that I would rule out.
And I
It's
know that
something
Mr. Go
use.
has to go, so quickly.
Studying the Abu Sayyaf,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure how this would apply to that particular group. They do a lot of kidnappings, and I know they cut off thumbs and sent those off to try to get some ransom.
This is a
but-
Philippine organization.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're basically used to water.
Yes, good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not gonna do
I mean,
anything
you know,
efficient.
they're the people that hold their breath for 2 minutes and do pearl diving.
Yep. So.
So I don't think
waterboard's
that's going to be
effective.
one thing that, there, that ought to be kind of a given. I'd go to another one right there
Yeah.
for that group.
It's
Anything
electrodes.
else?
Well, pending your questions at the end of our presentation.
That is all.
Question? Huh?